Hello everyone, welcome to Anime Amigos.
Hello.
We're still sorting out a new location. I'm Calvin Atkinson, the Pokemon Punk.
I'm Reese, the Gundam Guru.
I'm Ren, the JoJo Genius.
I'm Minute, the Vanguard Vagrant, and welcome to the Anime Amigos. You come here because there's nothing else on. You stay when you see our pretty little faces. You then leave when Ren starts defending listeners.
Yeah. I don't defend listeners. I'm a huge proponent, and I will argue in favour of listeners.
And look, it's still not as bad as World End.
And if you hear some...
And this is the last time you will be seeing Reese and Ren on one of these videos.
And incidentally, if you hear some whelping, it's Elliot's dog Ripley is still on the set and is currently dreaming, apparently.
Oh, she's having a very deep sleep.
Oh,
She was very tired after making that social media
yeah,
post.
and she... yes, and anyway, so we're here to basically do two follow-ups to I think it's our pre-pandemic. Did we do the second movie during the pandemic?
We did a second movie during pandemic. We did Sonic 1 before pandemic.
Yes.
I think that was like the video. The Sonic film was the one we did just before the pandemic.
And the second one was just after it here.
Yeah.
So it does feel interesting that we're sort of doing these in these two follow-ups to 2020. And it's like we're finally reviewing these as the world is sort of starting to get back to something resembling normality.
Mostly normality.
Until you check the news.
Yes. That's
But,
right. Stay offline. Stay online. Wait, no.
Figure this out. Anyway, so we're reviewing Sonic 2 and Fate Stay Night Heaven's Feel.
Yep.
Three
Spring song.
springs. Do you? I mean, admittedly, we took a bit. These stop it. Stop it now.
Staying alive. Staying alive.
Be careful. That has a I believe a naked Sakura on the front cover.
Oh.
No, but
no.
she's covered.
Nice.
As still
Tasteful.
implied.
Yes.
It's tasteful enough we can get away with
It's a
it.
tasteful
Yes.
nude.
Tasty!
Which is what we will leak when we reach 500 subscribers.
Moving swiftly on.
In 3 years.
But it's
Three. I think that's 10. I think that's 10 times less than you think it would be.
Probably.
when we did the 5th anniversary stream, that kind of put us behind a bit. That's hence why. Well, mind you, we were going to do 2 this month, but the one we were planning had to be pushed back to next year because of Attack on Titan's
Oh,
insistence on not ending.
Yeah.
So
You can't call it the final season at this point.
Yeah, especially when it's where last season it was the final season, season 2.
Yeah, I refuse to call it the final season last year. I refuse to call it this year.
Yeah.
But obviously Sonic 2. We all saw the first one. I think we all liked the first one.
I really like the first one.
I really like the first one. I even did an article during during lockdown on which film was better, Sonic 1 or Detective Pikachu.
What conclusion did you come to?
I think I came to the conclusion of Detective Pikachu is better at being the game, but Sonic is probably is a better overall film in terms of story structure. But I think I enjoyed Sonic more.
Yeah, I think ultimately Detective Pikachu is a better film, but Sonic 1's more fun.
Yeah, and also acknowledging your bias as a massive Sonic stan.
No,
Which
but
is
I'm also a massive Pokemon stan as well.
Absolutely.
So that's
It balances out.
so it kind of I'd say it balanced out.
I would agree with you actually. I think that Sonic itself is a better standalone. Like Pikachu. Detective Pikachu. You kind of have to know a bit more about Pokemon, I would say.
But
I think Detective Pikachu though you can get away with just knowing the basics.
But
Yes,
the point I made when I was doing that article was neither of these ones they're both probably the best live action video game adaptations to date.
Yes.
And neither of them completely bring in the entire game.
I think the fans of Angry Birds 2 would say otherwise. No joke. That
Kombat
film.
1. Hello.
No joke. Surprisingly, Angry Birds 2 is actually pretty good.
I saw the first film.
Apparently, it is.
I was on a long haul flight from Dubai to New Zealand in 2016, and I watched the Angry Birds movie on the plane, and I actually enjoyed it. It sounds bad, but it was a pretty good film. I'm not gonna lie.
I think it's a good kids film.
Yeah.
The condor pissing scene.
It was funny.
The condor pissing scene.
You have passed the test. You drank my piss.
That's great for Anime Amigos out of context.
Or in
But
context.
that being said, Sonic 2 had a great post-credit scene with Tails coming in, and then we found out, of course,
No, Sonic 1 had a good.
Yeah.
Sonic
Sonic
1
1.
had that great post-credit scene.
Yes, who doesn't remember Sonic 2 when we saw Tails throughout the entire film, and then Tails showed up right at the end to say, "I'm in the next film."
But we found out Idris Elba is going to be playing he's going to be playing Knuckles.
He
and
said he wasn't going to do it sexy. He fucking lied.
Oh yeah.
we got that one wrong, and basically that was where we were at with Sonic 2. I genuinely thought I was actually kind of surprised it got a sequel, to be honest, because I thought even though it was the highest opening weekend, I thought this is going to peter out with the pandemic, and they're not going to take as much notice of it.
I think when they knew what they had with the success of Sonic 1, it was a foregone conclusion that a sequel would follow.
Yeah, I mean, they did kind of hint at a sequel at the end of the first film.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we kind of had a feeling it was going to happen. It was kind of inevitable it was going to happen eventually, because we didn't know that there was going to be a pandemic by the time when it came out.
Yeah, and also it was quite successful on the streaming services afterwards.
Yeah.
It did very well on streaming services afterwards. A lot of people actually went and got that film when we were forced in our homes.
And as far as like not sequel baiting so hard in the first film, I think Sonic 1's a great example of it. Like it has like a little scene, like you see Eggman on the Mushroom Planet at the end of the first one, and then it's like, okay, well the sequel could follow from that, but it's nowhere near as bad as Battle Angel Alita. I will maintain.
The difference is with Sonic 1, with the first Sonic film, that was entirely self-contained.
Yes.
With Battle Angel Alita, it was trying to adapt.
Yeah.
It's a 9-volume series, and that was just adapting the first 3 volumes.
And it's like, guys, make one film, then we'll think about a franchise.
Yeah.
Like, Iron Man is great as a start for the MCU because it's a self-contained film.
Yeah.
All of those Phase 1 films are very much... In fact, I would say, actually, people go on about the Marvel films with that thing, but I think most of the Marvel films are very good at being self-contained.
I'd say the first films are pretty good. Like, Black Panther easily could have just been a single film. Same with Doctor Strange. Like, a number of those things could have easily been just self-contained single films.
Even something like I know it brings in quite a few elements, but Shang-Chi actually could have been its own thing.
Something I actually really like about the Marvel films, which is that you can kind of watch all those films without watching the previous ones. You'll just get more from it if you did watch it.
Whereas if you look at like the Warner Bros. DC films, they're trying to run before they can walk because they're playing catch up to.
I would say they probably had the same intention, like trajectory wise, as the Marvel films. Because Man of Steel.
But they try to go. No, it's not. But they try to go too fast.
Standalone film. I mean, I know you don't like the film, but as a standalone.
No,
film,
I really don't like Man of Steel. I really don't like it. I think it just gets so much wrong about Superman.
And we can see how well the Justice League films went by the fact that we now have yet another Batman.
Yes.
Yep.
How many reboots is this franchise gonna get?
I mean, that being said, I mean, it works because I like the Batman. Yeah. But anyway, and actually that's interesting because that was the film I was saying beforehand. That could be my film of the year at the minute, the Batman. But then, and I was saying, well, this is the film Sonic 2 has to beat. So, who's gonna? Reese,
I love that comparison for best film of the year. Batman versus Sonic 2.
Yeah, of all things.
Sonic 2. Reese, what did you think?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think it's a step above the original.
Ooh.
Elliot?
I'd say it's on par with the original. I think both do certain elements better than the other, but ultimately I really enjoyed this film.
Ren?
I'm going to say a little bit less good than the original. I prefer the original to the sequel, definitely.
Speaking of someone who is a massive Sonic stan, hence the shirt.
And hence all the fan art on your timeline.
Yes. Feet pics on his heart.
And the fact I've got the pictures from the encyclopedia over there.
Wonderful.
I'll say this is the Sonic film I've been waiting my entire life for.
Oh.
I loved this movie. This is my new favourite video game adaptation.
I'll say this for Sonic 2. It definitely feels like it's going more for kids than the first one was.
Yeah.
The first film definitely felt like it was a film for kids and the fans. This one, it felt it's leaning a little bit more to the kids.
Which is weird because I came out with the opposite opinion of that.
Yeah.
I think that if you really look for it, there's tons of little Easter eggs. We won't go to spoilers, but there was only one scene where I felt like, oh yeah, this is a kids' film.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
There's only one scene. Also, I'll add to that scene, and we'll go a bit more into detail later, but how is it we have a film where Dr. Eggman has a better taste in music than Sonic does?
Yeah. Because Jim Carrey carries the entire film. Not carries, but like...
I mean...
Carries the film.
I mean, when you look at it, it's just when you look at the normal games, it's Escape to the City versus Eggman versus I Am the Eggman.
Yeah.
What about...
honestly, unpopular opinion of those two, I think I prefer Eggman a little bit more.
I like Eggman's theme in Sonic Adventure 2, I'll agree with that one.
I
But
don't remember it.
it's interesting because I heard there's one rumor that didn't come true. Was I heard Crush 40 were involved with the soundtrack of this film, and obviously they don't show up in the soundtrack. Which is a shame because I thought, yes, make Crush 40 do a song for this.
That's actually something that James Rolfe talked about in his video on it. There's no like Sonic music. Like, there's no music from the games or anything. At the very least, do remixes of them.
Yeah, which is weird because even in the first one, you had that small piano bit of the Green Hill theme.
Yeah.
We did kind of. The only really mention of any Sonic songs we get is the fact that the Green Hill something was a ringtone.
Which I must be honest, I popped for that. I'll say one of the things I think they did smart was, with the exception of one scene, which is the only thing I didn't like about the film, the human characters are a lot more toned down this time.
Yes.
Yeah, they're hardly in it.
Yeah, but they don't need to be in that much. I mean, it kind of feels. I also think it's a bit weird. They kind of changed the dynamic between Sonic and Tom in this one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think definitely this film is a lot more about Sonic and Tails. I mean, and it's the dynamic of Knuckles and everything as well.
Yeah, but you kind of want that from a Sonic film.
Yeah, I mean, in the first one, it's meant to be grounded in, like, you know, it's human experience, learning about the world, and then it's about him developing, which I think is fair to bring in Tails and Knuckles as focal characters rather than the human ones.
Yeah, it's the same allegory that they went for with Superman. Of an alien comes to Earth, raised by human parents.
Yes.
Adopting their values.
I didn't even think about
I did like the fact they brought back the meow gag again.
Yeah.
I love that. The one downside I have is there's not enough Sonic. There's no Sonic references.
But I did like there's a lot of little bits of references, like the temple scene. They actually have a homage to the slight.
I think we're getting too much into spoilers now.
The underwater.
It was in the trailer.
That was in the trailer, hence why I'm going with that.
Alright.
I loved the underwater scene as well.
Oh yeah.
One of the moments. I'm not going to say which bit, but there was a manual that looked a lot like a Genesis
manual. Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Also, it's the name of, and this is in the trailer, so it's not spoiled. The name of the coffee shop that Agent Stone is running is
what was it called?
The Mean Bean.
The Mean Bean, which is a reference to Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean machine.
Oh, okay.
From the Sega. From
Like
Sega.
when you just see all those Easter eggs in it, and you just think, okay, these guys know what they're doing. These guys are definitely Sonic fans.
I actually laughed when I saw the Mean Bean. I was the only one in the cinema laughing. I was like, oh no, I'm the only one who got that reference.
When I saw the Mean Bean, I just went, oh!
I love that. It was quite nice because, I mean, even as like a casual Sonic fan like I am, like I still noticed like a few bits. I mean, like, you know, the designs of some of the robots and, like, you know, Tails is playing and whatnot.
Incidentally, I now follow the actor who plays Agent Stone.
Oh yeah, same. He's so nice. Like, he seems like such a nice guy.
And he's so overwhelmed by how much people love Agent Stone. I think he's now become the new favourite Robotnik assistant.
Oh yeah, easily.
Which is annoying because it was Snivelly before that.
Yeah.
Who else was there? I mean, the UK comics had Grimer.
Then we had Orbot and Cubot with the Lace games.
What about the assistants and?
You don't have the chicken and the drill guy from the Sonic
Scratch and
cartoons.
Grounder.
And that robotic ape.
Which were
Coconuts.
Yeah, him.
Which were the henchmen in Sonic Underground?
It was the stupid dogs that looked like they were rejects from Crash Bandicoot.
I remember them. Yeah.
I can't remember their names now. It's just one of them transformed into a. You could transform one of them into a bike, and they were bound to go.
It's Sonic Underground. What do you expect? Even when I was watching it as a kid, and watching multiple episodes of it, I thought, yeah, this is bad.
I was enthralled by the narrative, and I wanted them to find their mother, Elliot. Do not deny me this.
I will deny it. They didn't make it.
Yeah.
It was weird because
it was so funny.
Everyone died. End of series.
Which incidentally, I'm surprised they have never got a Jaleel White cameo into these, considering he was the voice of Sonic for several years.
And also been in that fan film.
Yeah, he was. He was in that Sonic fan film that team worked on.
Something I'm surprised by is that they got the voice actor for Tails from the games. Meanwhile, all the other characters were not like the game voice actors.
Yeah, Colleen O'Shaughnessy reprised her role as Tails from the games in this.
Yeah. I did want to point out on that because I felt like the performance, when I was watching Tails on screen, it felt like I was listening to Tails, and like my comment is that I wish they would get voice actors to do the voices of animated characters, because I just heard Idris Elba and I just heard Jean-Ralphio from Parks and Recreation when I hear Sonic.
Yeah, but it is Ben Schwartz is a prominent voice actor. He's done a lot more voice acting than live action acting.
Yeah.
So for example, he's which one of he? Huey, Dewey, or Louie in the DuckTales reboot?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
He's one of them. He is one of the Huey, Dewey, and Louie in the DuckTales reboot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying don't.
I mean, so he's basically a lot like Mark Hamill then.
He's
I
very
guess
much
so.
like
It's
Mark
not
Hamill.
comparison.
How do we feel about Idris Elba as Knuckles?
I think he did. It was good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
a good
pretty
job.
good. I like his acting.
I must be honest. I managed after a while to sort of phase out that it was Idris Elba playing him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he does sound quite different voicing Knuckles compared to his normal roles.
Yeah.
And I think they got the right balance between the dopey Knuckles and the tough guy Knuckles. I think they got the right balance.
I wouldn't say he's an idiot. I think he's more just a bit clueless, because with Sonic, when he's in that world, he sort of grew up in that world from watching things from a distance, so he kind of got a little bit on how it worked. With Knuckles, he really didn't. He was just entered the world, and then boom, after the MacGuffin.
I'll tell you who he reminds me of. He reminds me of Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy, except less stupid.
He does a bit, yeah. He does a little bit.
That's a good comparison, actually.
Yeah.
I think my favourite line still is ... dot dot
Yeah,
dot
Look at the text messages.
dot or tiny hedgehog destroyed. What next?
Nah, my favourite line is still Jim Carrey saying, "You're about as useless to me now as backseat tickets to Limp Bizkit." Oh, sorry, backstage passes to Limp Bizkit.
Thank you for that. Fred Durst is definitely going to talk shit about this. Incidentally,
Who cares?
Incidentally, two things correspond. Before we go into the spoil section, I think we will after this. There's two things that corresponded with this film that happened to coincide with the last film, which was it managed to cause another comic book movie to lose loads of money at the box office. And there was a really
and there
was a really dumb controversy.
So what was it the first time?
Wasn't the difference between Morbius was actually bad?
Morbius was actually bad, yeah. Birds of Prey is not bad, but it's not exactly an amazing film. Reese will probably disagree with me on this one, because I don't think he doesn't really like Birds of Prey that much.
I was not a big fan.
I haven't watched it yet. I think I might, because I did like that Harley Quinn.
Yeah, it was basically that bad. They had to change the name to get people to come see the film.
Oh yeah,
because people didn't know
which
people didn't know that Harley Quinn was in the film. It's like, how do you not know Harley Quinn's in a Birds of Prey film? How do you not know the Birds? This is why we can't have obscure comic characters.
I wouldn't have.
You need to understand, Calvin. Unlike us, they have a life.
I mean, to be fair, like I wouldn't have known who the Birds of Prey comprised.
Honestly, me neither.
Yeah, Morbius, from what I've heard, is pretty bad. I refuse to see it at this point.
It's bad.
But you're a film.
Yes.
It was coming out the same week as Sonic. I had to pick one of them.
Well, you picked the right one, evidently.
Yeah, evidently. And
and also, he obviously wanted to pick Sonic. Come on.
Yeah, but mind you, I might disagree. I mean, me and Ren disagree on the new Doctor Strange film, for example.
I've not seen it yet.
I like it. Ren doesn't.
I have not seen it. I'm probably going to try and watch it week after next.
Tell me what you think of it when you see it.
I mean, Doctor Strange is one of my favourite Marvel films, so I'll probably like it.
But the point is, it's like, well, that happened, and there was also stupid controversy. This time, though, it came from a less stupid source.
What's the controversy?
What happened was Ken Penders.
Him.
Who is one who genuinely, in my opinion, is one of the worst creative personalities alive right now. And I have no qualms in saying that. I genuinely believe he's appalling.
Chuck Wendig, you have a rival.
He went on Twitter to threaten he was going to sue Paramount because he holds the copyright to Knuckles' dad.
Yeah.
I guess...
Who was in the film for a grand total of 20 seconds.
If that.
And didn't get a fucking line.
Well, the point is that he owns the copyright to the character he created to be Knuckles' father, but he doesn't own the concept of Knuckles having a father.
Yeah.
So he gets up. So that's why Paramount just told him, you bugger off.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, the fact he said that, it really annoys me, because Ken Penders is a dickhead of the highest order. And I really mean this. Like, if it was just his works, which are really bad, per se, it would be bad enough. But the fact that he actually tries to stamp out other people's creative work, because well, we nearly got a Sonic Saturn season 3. It nearly happened. The creative team were getting ready to come back and do it. They told Ken Penders, "Can you pitch this to them for us because we think we have a really cool idea here." Penders lied about the pitch, so Sega took it down because it wasn't he wasn't going to make anything out of it. And he sued this Archie and Sega to get the rights to basically most of the cast that he created, mainly the Knuckles supporting cast, but he also created a few characters for the village that Sonic's friends live in.
Yeah.
They lost that case, annoyingly, so he took all that one. The Archie series had to reboot, so it was never as successful ever again. They had to give it up to IDW. And then he doesn't do anything with the characters he's got. He keeps saying he's going to do the Lara Sue Chronicles, and he's never bloody done it. So fuck you, Ken Penders.
Valid.
And the fact he was like, if Sonic 3 doesn't happen because of him, I'm going to track him down.
I don't think it will. I think one person with such a minor claim over a character, because at the end of the day, they're just removing from the next film. That they'll have already made more than enough in legal fees to try to
the big difference is he's not taking on Archie Comics now. He's taking on Paramount.
Yeah, so fucking no chance.
Yeah, like I mean, look how much effort it's taken to get Activision to court, for example, and they've done way more egregious shit.
Yeah.
But I think it's time to go into spoiler territory. I think.
Wait, before we do that, I have to gush about Jim Carrey.
Okay.
He was fantastic once again as Eggman. I think we can all admit that.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, and what I liked is the fact they once again didn't have him overexposed in the film.
Yeah.
I was really worried. Oh no, don't overexpose him. This isn't a Dr. Eggman movie; it's a Sonic movie.
But yeah, he was still like easily the best part of the film, except for one certain bit, which I will demonstrate for you now.
Yeah.
You gotta do the flip.
They had to.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's going to be in there.
They couldn't get Sonic to do it, so they got Eggman too.
Of course, the Q World Domination playlist.
Yeah, bit dodgy using Pantera, but we'll go with it.
Another thing I love though, they brought back the latte jokes.
Yes.
They brought back the latte jokes.
So, okay, spoiler time. Really good. I think the first thing I really want to talk about is a bunch of the references they got in there. So they got the Genesis manual. They got the reference to what's the water slide level in Sonic 1?
Sonic 1.
Yeah, that's
That's the fourth level. I know that one.
It's
and that's the worst level in the game.
It's something Labyrinth Zone, I think.
Hidden Labyrinth.
Sorry.
Hidden Labyrinth.
No, it's not Hidden Labyrinth. It's.
I'll look it up quickly.
But that was a reference. But the Sonic Slide has direct reference to that. They had obviously the Mean Bean. There's the Master Emerald's a big focal point in this one.
It's just Labyrinth Zone.
Yeah, it's Labyrinth Zone. Yeah, there's a reference to that's obviously a big reference to Labyrinth Zone.
Which you'll see in the credits where they do them with in-game graphics.
Yeah,
and it's the same.
Well, I love the credits in both of these films. I mean,
it's basically just if they decide to do a 2D game of the films.
Yeah.
Which I want now. I want that to happen.
Well, Sonic Team is apparently working on a new 2D Sonic game.
Oh, hey, that's cool. Is it the same guys who did Sonic Mania?
No, apparently it's not the same guys who did Sonic Mania, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh God, we're not going to get another Sonic 4, are we?
I hope not. But anyway, there's I'm trying to think of a few more. I suppose you could say the running across the water is a reference to Sonic Unleashed.
Yeah, and of course you have the whole snowboarding thing.
Oh yeah,
Sonic
snowboarding. That's a reference to Sonic Adventure.
Yeah, and also Sonic 3.
Wasn't there a Sonic snowboarding game? I seem to recall.
You think it's Sonic Riders?
Sonic Riders, thank you.
That's a hoverboarding game.
Oh, hoverboarding. Oh, okay. I thought it was referencing. Okay, my bad.
No, it's a reference to Sonic 3 and Sonic Adventure.
Got it.
Yeah.
It's
Of course, Eggman's final Mac being a reference to the Egg Robo.
the Egg Robo from Sonic 2.
With the death egg.
Is it weird that I thought it looked more? Is it weird that my first thought was like the robots from Sonic Heroes and Shadow the Hedgehog?
I guess that's what they're based off, probably.
Yeah.
I think.
Of course, a big Easter egg being Gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's from Sonic Hedgehog, Sonic Adventure 2.
And Shadow the Hedgehog.
I do like the fact they point out that it's a bit, what, really? Gun? I mean,
Yeah.
works.
Set on the nose.
Yeah, but I was going to say, yeah, that is directly from the games.
All run by the man who is now known as the Olive Garden
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
I would like to ask, when did that Pharrell Williams song come out?
Which one?
The one that was used in was it Pharrell Williams? What was the dance battle?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not Pharrell Williams.
Who is it?
It's Uptown Funk.
And that's Bruno Mars.
Bruno
Oh
Mars.
fuck! Oh my
That
God.
was like 2013?
Shows how much I know about pop culture.
Yeah,
Why are they using a song that's almost 10 years old in a dance battle?
Because the song's alright. It's actually one of the few like pop songs that came
Yeah,
out that I actually enjoy.
Yeah, the dance battle is one of the few scenes where I was like, yeah, this is a kids'
yeah,
I was
film.
just like, oh come
Yeah.
on.
And I didn't like the wedding stuff.
Yeah,
No,
yeah. You
oh.
like, trust me, you have not known pain when you're the only one laughing at a Limp Bizkit joke, and all the kids in the cinema are screaming, Randall!
Yeah. Who watched the first film and was like, right, I like the main girl's sister. She's cool. She deserves her
Speaking
whole
of which, that
arc.
entire wedding makes no sense.
Yeah.
How was Gunn going to try and get Sonic
Who knows?
through that wedding?
Did they just assume they bring
Like-
Sonic to the
yeah.
event?
Like, okay, we need to capture this life form that's possibly dangerous, is an alien. How are we gonna do it? Wedding.
Yeah.
And they
An
call it
elaborate wedding.
and they call it
photo.
Operation Catfish.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have on the nose.
Yeah, and like what? I don't get what the Sonic only came there through
Yeah.
happenstance. What is it? Oh, Sonic's not here.
And in terms of the actual movie, like while I was watching that, it was just like for 25 minutes or so, or 20 minutes, where the fuck is Sonic? While this is happening, like I came to watch a Sonic movie. I don't
Yeah,
want
to
to
try,
watch this
while
shit.
while Thingamajig's going after Randall, you just think, okay, can we get back to the can we get back to the blue mouse, please, and his
Yeah.
furry friend?
And it actually amounted to nothing in the grand scheme of the film, which is one major criticism. Is that
I
that
was
just
expecting-
all
Yeah, and
purpose.
then they kiss, and then they're never in the film again. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the favorite thing about the way though, Gunn's big plan was shoot Sonic with tasers and put him in a cage. Who's the fastest thing alive?
Yeah.
The idea is to slowly point a taser at him and then fire,
Yeah.
and hope he just stands still to get hit.
That's the worst thing. It fucking works.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This was way easier than it should have been.
Yes.
yeah.
But I did. What do you think of? We didn't really discuss Tails in this film. How do we feel about Tails?
I love Tails.
Yeah.
Tails is
Great.
Tails is really good. You can definitely tell like it's a really good friendship is building between him and Sonic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So especially at the end, I'd say his full name as well, which most people don't realise it's a pun.
What was
Miles Tails Prowler.
Miles Prower.
Miles per hour.
That's good. I never noticed.
It's actually a thing in the original Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog where it's like he hates the name, so that's why he insists Sonic calls him Tails.
Oh,
Yeah.
But
that's great.
I do like that kind of shows he's kind of playing a different version of Tails than the one from the games as
Yeah.
well. It's like it is going back to the whole fanboying that Tails did when they first met.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so what are the differences between the games and
Well, the point that Colleen is voicing the character, she's voicing a way more on the level of Sonic
Yeah.
rather than
Yeah.
the kid. Stop doing that with a plug. I
Oh,
just
sorry,
like,
am I knocking
you're,
it, am I?
you're sort of knocking it in and out of the
Oh,
base.
sorry. Okay, I'll mind it.
But welcome to Anime Amigos, where professionalism is an afterthought.
So, what in the games, it's kind of like at this point in time they're more on a level, or Tails is even kind of occasionally giving orders to Sonic.
Yeah.
Mm,
At the same time, though, it's kind of understandable in the game because Tails did have that really big arc in Sonic 1. Sonic Adventure 1, sorry.
Oh yeah, no, Tails has a really good arc in Sonic Adventure 1. I'm annoyed they never kind of gave him a moment like that.
Mm.
Well, what you need to understand, Sonic characters are like SAO characters. They get their arc, they get their arc in one arc, and then they're just background.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose so. Should we? I think there's a couple of other things. The final battle is so good.
This final
Yeah.
battle is
I
amazing.
do love that.
Was anyone else sort of when Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles are standing over that point, thinking, just hearing the Sonic Heroes theme in their head?
Yeah.
Honestly, my first thought was open your heart.
Yeah, but and it's the way the camera pans around, and
Yeah.
that the whole thing looks like one continuous sequence. And I keep saying, yes, that's how you do it. You don't cut several times. you make it you make it as few cuts as possible, and you really show off what these characters can do.
That's how you do it, Uwe Boll.
Yeah, but just to say that show as well for all of them on the Mounds with action, it's very similar to the first Avengers.
Oh yeah, it does have
Yeah,
that.
yes, yeah.
I say, well, we need to find its weak point. I say it's the groin. What?
Stop saying groin!
And then that's that great line. It's like saying, "I'm the groin." I live rent free in his head, so if I keep him distracted, and it's like just a hedgehog. You are a no warrior. Go to your certain death.
I'm a little confused on how like the power on like how the Master Emerald powered up Jim Carrey, Eggman, because in the games Eggman's trying to get the Chaos Emeralds to bump up his robots. Instead, he gets the Master Emerald in this to like gives him really big powers. You just think, well, why do you need a robot at that point? You are literally God.
I do like the fact that the 7 Chaos Emeralds make up the Master Emerald this time. I think that's an interesting new take on it. What sort of new take? They kind of did that in the British Sonic comics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it's more the idea that Jim Carrey doesn't want to show he's physically stronger than Sonic. He wants to prove he's smarter than Sonic, so he builds a giant wonder of technology to then crush him with.
He's trying to prove that he's smarter than Sonic while falling back saying, "Later, hater!"
It's I will be a bit annoyed if Jim Carrey decides he doesn't want to come back for the third movie.
And like
which he did say that he wanted to retire from acting now.
Yeah, but he didn't say completely. He did say just I think
he said he's waiting for the right script, but I'm in agreement with a lot of people that Sonic 3 is probably not the right script that he's looking for.
I think he will come back for Sonic.
I think it might be, because when you look at those the other two films, is Jim Carrey just having fun being himself.
And it's a question of whether you see Dr. Eggman or are you seeing Jim Carrey. And I think
you see both.
Yeah,
I think he does a good job at playing both.
Yeah.
He has the intellect and wordy technical mumbo jumbo that Eggman has, but at the same time he has the goofy and silliness that Jim Carrey's known for.
Yeah. Could they not have had him to say the line though, "Get a load of this," or you know what they say, the more the merrier?
That would have been great. That would have been perfect.
I mean, well, there's one more film. We have a chance.
Yeah. Oh, is it going to be a trilogy guaranteed?
Yeah, they've already guaranteed.
And massive spoiler about the ends in 3, 2, 1. Shadows in the next one.
Yeah. They're already There's already loads of talk online.
I know he's an edgy edgelord, but I cannot help it. Shadow's my favourite Sonic character.
Absolutely.
Oh, that moment just I just said you have to say for the post credits, because I knew as soon as it said a file from 50 years ago, I was like, it's Shadow.
I remember like there were 3 girls in front of me. These were like the same age that I was. One Shadow shot, one just went.
But yeah, I know. I just went. Yeah. No way, they're not going to... Because I thought Metal Sonic would come next. I thought it was going to be Metal Sonic would be in the next one. I thought, no way they're bringing Shadow in. But here's the one... I've heard one name be passed around online. See, you guys think like Keanu Reeves as Shadow.
Just get a voice actor. Stop giving me Keanu Reeves.
You remember Keanu Reeves in the hit and very successful game Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah. I've had a thought though. Dane DeHaan. He played Harry Osborn in the second Andrew Garfield Spider-Man film.
Interesting.
I don't know if he would be in too well of a fit, but I think it might work. Mark Hamill,
maybe.
Oh, that would be fun. I'd like that.
I'd be worried though Shadow would drift into his Joker voice. I think he'd have to do a voice similar to anyone see Metalocalypse here.
No, sadly.
No.
Oh, you'd like it.
I do want to watch it.
It's basically an animated comedy about a death metal band that's.
I've seen bits of that.
Basically, could take over the world, but they're too stupid to actually do it. I've heard some, but the reason I thought Dane DeHaan is he's quite good at playing like creepy weirdos.
Yeah.
Which if you ever see him, he's in a really good film with Jason Isaacs called A Cure for Wellness. He's really good in that one. But the problem is they keep casting him as sort of the strapping, good leading man, and he's not that. No. It's like do you ever see that film Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets?
No, it didn't look very good.
No, it's really not good, and he's completely miscasting it. Him and Cara Delevingne is also at her absolute worst in that film.
Wow.
It's what's
Are they just going for Avatar?
Sort of. It's based on a French comic that's not aged incredibly well.
No.
But he's also quite good in that Metallica movie. Through the Never. It's where he basically plays a silent character who's getting a package from Metallica throughout town whilst shit's going crazy throughout town during a Metallica concert.
Isn't that basically the plot for Guitar Hero Metallica?
Kind of. It's Metallica's take on kind of like a Fantasia type situation of all these weird situations happening surrounding their music.
Okay.
It works a bit better than you think.
No, it's.
Although they had to work it into the actual concert they were shooting for it, because they shoot a proper concert for it.
Oh, wow.
So what happens is, like, there's a moment where he gets this hammer during Enter Sandman to sort of stop this this rioter on a horse from killing him. It makes sense in the nutshell. And it actually starts blowing up part of the set.
So
and Metallica have to play along with this. So like the roadie on fire. And you go, no, stop.
So it's not Metallica meets Mamma Mia then, thank God.
Thank God, no, it's not.
When did it come out?
It was a couple of years ago. It was like 2017 or something.
I'm surprised I didn't hear about that.
And so they have to perform Hit the Lights on a destroyed set. But they shot a lot because it was going to be in 3D as well. They shot a lot for it. And they didn't show I actually saw mobile footage of what they plan to do for Seek and Destroy, which doesn't make it into the film. We're getting off topic though.
Yes, slightly, yes.
But the point is, that was why I thought, well, one of the reasons why he's very good at playing those kind of roles. That's why he was one of my first thoughts for. So knowing our luck, it'll be Chris Pratt.
Yeah, again.
And that's what I mean. I think Keanu Reeves for me is on that level with Chris Pratt. He's just fucking everywhere. Stay out of popular media for
the difference is Keanu Reeves is better cast than Chris Pratt is. Like, who the hell wants to see Chris Pratt as Mario or Garfield?
Who asked for that?
Whose voice is Shadow in the games currently? Because I'm not a huge fan of the current.
I'm not sure.
Not here. Is it him still?
No, it's different.
He voices him more like this.
And he sounds way worse.
Yeah, it's very it's a very different point always.
Because in the Sonic Boom universe, he's just straight up evil.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I want to say that if it's Keanu, I actually want to say to Sonic, I know Kung Fu.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll wait and see. They're obviously going to announce the cast. I assume it's going to be like another 2 to 3 years till we see Sonic 3.
I imagine so.
Yeah.
I mean,
And with Sonic 3, do you think this will be the last Sonic film we get?
No.
Yes.
No.
Spin-offs.
No, they've already got a spin-off going on. I think it's either Netflix or Paramount Plus with Knuckles.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, Knuckles is getting his own spin-off series, so that
that's
might
cool.
slow things down for the next film. But
We also forgot to mention another Easter egg. Knuckles still loves grapes in this, which is like his original lore.
Oh yeah, of course. And I mean, I think actually as well. God, I wonder if they never changed Sonic's design, what would Tails and Knuckles have looked like in this film?
I mean, I've already seen a joke picture. It's like that dead looking fox.
Oh yes. See, I kind of agree with the notion that the initial design for Sonic was done as viral marketing to get people riled up and like incensed about how stupid and fucked up it was.
No, I don't think they did that. I don't think they did it to like try and get a rile up because it costed them $5 million and delayed the film to get a new design. I don't think they changed.
And it did bankrupt an effects studio, so I don't think you do that just for a publicity stunt.
No,
I think that's going. I think you'd be liable to go into I think the studio at that point would be liable to put you into a lawsuit. At that point.
But thank God they did. Otherwise, in this one, we probably would have gotten Sonic teaming up with that fox that goes boom boom, and the guy with the mop on his head.
I would love
Basil Brush.
Seriously, watch Basil Brush appear on The Last Leg. It's the funniest thing you'll see ever.
We haven't really spoken much about the human characters in their arc.
But they don't really have much to do.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, which is a good thing.
Yeah, it shouldn't be on there.
I think they got the right amount of James Marsden in this film.
Yeah.
I think he's fine in this role, but it's kind of like I don't need that much of him.
Yeah. He's like
I still find it really weird saying his full name, his last name Wachowski, because it sounds very close to Wazowski, I'm very close to hearing him say, "Well, that was the ball."
Yeah.
What about
It's weird to me that they shift from like a friendship dynamic in the first film to like a father-son dynamic in the second.
Yeah, I feel like they should stay with the friendship.
Yeah, I prefer
that was a bit of a weird one. I agree.
It's like they went from partners in crime to fucking Dave from Alvin and Chipmunks.
What about what's the
Which, fun fact, in the last film, he actually ends up adopting them.
Really?
Like, actually signs adoption papers and
This
everything.
is like a Stuart Little situation, isn't it? It's like
Yeah.
every other child at the orphanage was like, what the fuck? And then
Except somehow in Stuart Little it made more sense.
Yeah,
Do you know what I found weird about Stuart Little? M. Night Shyamalan has a writing credit on it.
Really?
Seriously, he's one of the writers on Stuart Little.
No, do you want to know something that's even
Okay.
weirder with M. Night Shyamalan? He's going to be in the live-action Avatar remake as the cabbage guy.
What?
The guy who says, "My cabbages!"
Wait, they're doing
They're doing a live-action
It's not-
remake of Avatar: Last Airbender, a series.
Netflix is doing it. It's not Shyamalan.
Yeah.
I am dreading it because
Yeah.
I mean, The Last Airbender's great enough. The show, I mean, not the film. The film's shit.
Yeah.
The Avatar: Last Airbender is great. Just leave it out.
I
Some,
think.
some properties don't need to be converted to live action.
Yeah, I agree. I think the
good money.
biggest.
Yeah.
I think I think that's my biggest problem. I think my biggest problem with the film was the wedding scene, though. That one really dragged the
The
film.
wedding scene and the
Yeah.
dance scene. Oh.
Yeah, I
I still quite liked it.
I mean, the dance off is fine.
I mean, it's a kids' film. I thought it's a kids' film. It's a bit of, it's just a bit of fun.
No, 'cause
I did find it a bit funny where it seemed like they were gonna have a big fight, bar fight like they did in the first film,
Yes.
and it ended up this yakuza-looking guy ended up doing the dance off. But that gave me a bit of a chuckle.
Yeah.
No, in my opinion, the dance fight and the whole spa scene goes on way too long.
Yeah.
Even compared to the wedding.
Actually, here's another thing that I found weird. They kind of retconned the main reason why the owl, whatever her name is,
Longclaw.
Longclaw sent Sonic into the other world. Because originally it was so Sonic could escape. Then in this one she's like, "Oh, I sent you to this world so you can find the Master Emerald."
I think it's
Yeah.
more two birds, one stone. I think the plan was always to bring Sonic there, but just in case.
Yeah, and also, Paz, I'm going to send you not tell you anything about the emeralds and hope you figure it out eventually.
Yeah. So
I
that
wrote it on a map, you idiot.
A map I can't read, mother.
Yeah. Closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts. I think it's time for that now. I think this is now up there with my favorite video game movies, along with Street Fighter, Assassin's Fist.
Yeah, in my opinion, still a fantastic film, even with its problems.
Yeah, even with its problems, I think it's
Yeah.
in spite of its problems, it really works.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's a bit. I still think Sonic the first Sonic film is a little bit better, but I still thought this one was really great. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do next.
I think. Yeah, go ahead. Ren.
I was just going to say, as far as video game movies go, this is definitely one of the better ones.
But
Yeah.
one of the things I found interesting was when we brought it up at like Jan's birthday,
Oh,
when we
yes.
visited Jan's birthday, we were the only ones who were kind of. I was the only. Oh, and I should say I was the only one who really liked this film.
Yeah.
They were kind of like, it's just an okay film, and I'm like, what are you on about? This is fantastic.
I do think perhaps...
Did any of them say you were an idiot for liking it?
No, they didn't say I was an idiot for liking
Okay,
it.
so Joe wasn't at that.
No, he wasn't there at that point. He wasn't there.
I think perhaps maybe they're viewing because they know how avid about Sonic you are. Maybe they were thinking like.
But I went into this film fully prepared to be disappointed with it.
Oh really?
Yeah, I was fully prepared because I thought this seems like if it seems too good to be true,
Yeah.
it often is.
Now
Yeah.
I watched the Sonic film literally like an hour before I watched Sonic 2, and yeah, they're both, and so yeah, I kind of had high hopes for it. I thought it was so great.
I mean, it's not the last we're getting of Sonic this year. We're getting Sonic Prime
Yeah,
Oh, is
on
that new
Netflix.
on Netflix.
Yeah, which is
And we're
just
getting-
funny. Sonic Prime isn't on Amazon
Prime.
Prime.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good point.
There's There's two games to come out this year: Sonic Origins and Sonic Frontiers.
Yeah.
Do you think Sonic Frontiers will make it this year?
Yeah, I think it will.
Well, so Sonic Frontiers implies that he's a predator because I mean, no, that's a complete lie. Humans, it's the front eyes is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Disregard my joke, guys. Can't
It
let
was
us
a
around
dumb.
that.
It was a dumb joke anyway.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm gonna basically say it's basically kind of been leaked that we're gonna see gameplay of it at the Summer Games Fest opening show.
Oh, okay.
So I think it makes this year. So let's move on to the next film. Fate's Day Night, Heaven's Feel Free. Finally, Spring Song. It finally came to an end.
Yeah.
When was it actually released?
It was released. It was released last year
Yeah.
in Japan.
and kind of in America, but it takes us a while to get it. It only just
Yeah.
came out in March over here.
Yes, that's why we're discussing it now.
That's why it's taken a while. We've had the seasonal roundups, we've had the anniversary stream. So it was finally time to give it a listen. not listen and watch.
No, it initially came out in Japan, 15th August 2020.
Happy birthday to me.
2020.
Yeah, 2020.
That was my 30th birthday.
Hey!
Wow.
Yeah, that was when you guys all came around and I got that pizza
Yeah,
up and
yeah,
we all
yeah,
had
that.
pizzas.
Wow.
I've actually gotten better at that
I
now.
actually had a dream about your pizza yesterday. Very strangely.
Oh my!
Like in my dream, you were so. Yeah, I know this. I never dream about you, but you made.
And it's
pizza
not
for everyone.
positively.
You made pizza for everyone, and I was just like, oh, this is cool.
I'm making my escape now.
Okay, I'm the host of Amigos now. Okay, we're going to do it. This is a deep
out my
analysis on the Octa scene and Golden Cavalry.
Get out of my
And
chair.
it's been promoted, demoted again.
Please don't get a false effect.
Hey.
Fuck for that.
No, this chapter does that, not that one.
Yeah, no, honestly, if I sit down there now, it will do it. But Heaven's Feel Free finally made its way over here. We got the it's probably, I think we can safely say this is probably the final Fate thing we're getting from Ufotable at this point.
Unless they decide to do a remake of Dean's Day Night.
I don't think they will.
I think they honestly, I think they should, because after Ufotable, I don't think it's really worth going back to watch a Saber arc.
I think it would be very short because the Saber arc is
Yeah, in that case,
quite short.
Just do a single movie of it.
Yeah.
No, you need at least 2 movies, I'd say.
I don't do a duology.
But the thing about it is, you could do that, but I think Ufotable's quite comfortable with we're doing Demon Slayer now. We're the Demon Slayer studio.
Yeah.
The right, Ripley?
I wonder if the Fate brand has become a little bit worn, perhaps.
I kind of think it is because, like, with Fate Grand Order, everyone said it was really great, but I was like, I'm a bit fated out at this point.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel that with Fate with Grand Order. I think the main reason why is because I rewatched Zero and I watched Apocrypha and Unlimited Blade Works like before seeing that. I think because those shows were so good, it really lessened my opinion of Grand Order.
Well, the main problem with Grand Order with the anime we saw, it takes place at the end of the Grand Order timeline. So it initially started with that first Grand Order film, and then anime picks up like.
Oh no! Wait, sorry. I was thinking of Lost Encore. That's like
Lost
yeah, I think I've Lost Encore. Sorry, I haven't finished Grand Order, honestly. And I think what was weird with Grand Order was that it felt so separate from the other Fate properties, because all of them revolve around the Holy Grail War. That one didn't really.
The thing about for me is when you take the Holy Grail War out of it,
what's left.
It's kind of what's left. Yeah, it's like I really feel. It's why I feel like nothing's ever really matched Fate Zero and the Stay Night property. I even say, I know a lot of people don't like it, but I think I have some positive things to say about Dean's Stay Night. I think it doesn't work as a whole because it's it tries to adapt too much, and as a result, it's a bit of a confusing mess.
Hence why I think Ufotable, or I think it might actually be pronounced Ufotable.
But when you when it's doing the Saber arc, it's actually pretty good. And it is the only version of the Saber arc we have.
Yeah. So again, Ufotable, please do the Saber arc. We need all three of those arcs done by you at some point.
The problem with doing the Saber arc is there's very minimal character development in that one. It's meant to be the initial playthrough you do of Fate Stay Night. So and that's what people always say, well, why wasn't this character developed in this, and why wasn't it's like, dumbass, it's not their time to be developed. The whole point of it is different story. You have to watch all of them so you have the story as a whole.
One of my issues I thought when I was watching the film, when I was watching that Spring Song just last night actually was we didn't really get that much from Saber in this one. But I remembered, we saw quite a lot of her in the other two.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also Saber gets most of her development in the Saber arc.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to a certain extent some development in Unlimited Blade Works.
She gets a fair bit in Zero as well, actually.
Yeah, but Zero's setting up perfect. Zero, it does. That's the one thing I'll say about Heaven's Feel. But let me I'll say this point after we get the initial thoughts. Reese, what did you think of Spring Song? How did it close out the?
I think it did a solid job closing the trilogy.
Elliot?
I'm going to say the same thing I predicted when we reviewed the first film. This is my favorite story in the Fate series.
Oh, wow.
I really liked it.
Ren?
I liked parts of it. I wasn't. I think by the end I was, maybe because I'm not as enthused about the series. It was okay and good, I would say.
I thought it was a nice cap off to Heaven's Feel, but the thing I found interesting about it was I felt most of the character development was done in the first 2 films, so this one is just a massive fight scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it needed to be.
At the same time, that's normally how it goes in the in the Fates. That's how it went in Zero. That's how it went in Unlimited Blade Works.
Yeah, and it makes sense for it to be this thing. It's
also a fair bit of development on what happened with Sakura and with the Holy Grail War as a whole.
Without going into spoilers, it does feel like we've closed off all the story arcs that were set up in Fate Zero. It does feel like every single thing from Fate Zero has now been followed up on. I like a lot of aspects of it. I think the finale of Sakura's character arc is great. I think they did a pretty good job developing Ilya again. Again, she finally gets her full character arc.
Outside the Magical Girl spin-off she has.
Oh yeah. What?
There's
a Magical Girl spin-off.
It's a massive franchise.
Fate Kaleid Liner, right?
Yeah, Fate Kaleid.
And there's several entries. It's massive.
There's so many entries to that.
Wasn't there sorry, just as an aside, wasn't there a second season of that sleuth one?
The case of.
Oh yeah, I know the one you mean.
It's a guy who was the Master of Rider
in Fate Zero.
Yes,
he was. Now, admittedly, he was one of the best parts of Fate.
Oh yeah, right.
I quite like that show.
Yeah, I still think it's pretty good. I still quite enjoyed that one.
I think my biggest problem with it is that you can't solve the mysteries yourself. It's like, well, how was I supposed to know that? The magic in Fate is always a bit skew-whiff on exactly how it works. So as a result, it's kind of like, well, how was I supposed to guess that?
Yeah, it's a nice attempt.
But it's a nice attempt, yeah. And the point is, more of that character is always good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I like I do like a lot of the action in this film. It's obviously Ufotable, they do great action.
Well, the big thing for me as well, the soundtrack goes so hard in this
film.
The
soundtrack is fantastic.
Animation's phenomenal.
I mean, Ufotable always do amazing soundtrack.
I also like the fact they did bring back some of those Fate mainstays. So like Archer wasn't there, but he still had that song from Unlimited Blade where it's like. Yeah, but he's not.
I'm so happy we at least got "I am the bone of my sword."
Yes.
So they brought back some excellent ones there.
I'm happy we finally saw more of Ryder after she was screwed over in all the other ones.
She always gets shit on, doesn't she? I noticed that. Yeah.
This time it's all the other spirits that get shot on.
Yes.
Any more before we go to pre-spoilers on this one?
I mean, we can unpack it more in spoilers, and perhaps I didn't understand the power scaling of what's his face, Shiro.
Yeah, so Fate is always a bit weird on his power scaling.
Somehow Fate is worse than Dragon Ball.
Yeah, because it just, I mean, maybe to me, but it seemed like his abilities were far higher than what they have been in other seasons.
I think that's because though, and this is a bit of a spoiler from the previous one. In this one, he had Archer's arm.
Yeah.
Seeing as he had the independence of one of the heroic spirits, which are always insanely powerful, that kind of heightens his power a bit.
Which, considering what we find out about, which it makes sense considering what we find out about who Archer is in Unlimited Blade Works.
Yes, which I have now seen, by the way, so I know.
What do you think of Unlimited Blade Works?
I really liked it actually. Yeah.
Okay, here's a thing for you, Ren. Unlimited Blade Works or Heaven's Feel, which one did you prefer? And they're about the same length.
I prefer Unlimited Blade Works.
I think Unlimited Blade Works is a little bit longer, honestly, because I think seeing as these films all together are 6 hours, I think it will be about 18 episodes of this one.
No, it's about
Granted, they skip the build up to the Holy Grail War.
In the first film.
Yeah, but that's because we've seen all that so many times now. We don't need to see it again. Yeah. It's like again going back to the Batman. We don't need to see Batman's origin again. We've seen it so many times now.
Yeah.
I think there's a great Mitch Benn quote on this where he says, "I think I'm more traumatized by Batman's parents' death than he is at this point. I've had to see it so many times." But how do you guys feel about Heaven's Feel as a whole now that we've seen all three of these films?
As I said, it's my favorite of the Fate series.
But the thing about it is, for me, it's like one of the things that's great about the fact we have all these versions now is it gives you nice retroactive moments in each of these films. So like the look that Archer gives Shiro, you know what that means now. You know what the connection between those two is. And when you find out what Sakura's been put through. That final scene in the Limited Blade Works is a bit more, oh my god, this is actually really bad.
Yeah.
This was a really nice scene before. Now you realise, oh my god, this is fucked up.
Yeah.
But there's all sorts of moments like that you now get with all these as a whole. And I agree the watching order should be, and I think I stand by this should be the watching order if you want to get into Fate. Dean's Day Night you watch first, then Fate Zero, then Unlimited Blade Works, then Heaven's Feel.
Which is funny because I watched Zero first.
Yeah, same here.
I feel like Zero can work on its own, but I think it works even better when you know it's building to that tragedy and you know it's not going to work.
The thing is it's difficult because when you watch all of them, they spoil everything else.
Yeah.
Like if you watch Stay Night first, you'll know Gilgamesh won in the end. Or if you watch Zero first, there's like a bunch of spoilers for Stay Night. So.
Yeah.
But the point is, you can't avoid spoilers about some of them. But I think they're very clever in how they meticulously say they're only going to give you a bit of information here and a bit of information there, and so it kind of works together. So I think it's time to go into spoiler territory with this one.
Yeah.
So first of all, I want to talk about is the fact of who lives and who dies in this one, because it's kind of interesting comparing it with something like Unlimited Blade Works, because I was expecting Rin to die in this one.
Yeah.
In fact,
She nearly did.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, Rin is like one of the main faces of Fate. I don't think they would have killed her
No, they
off.
wouldn't have done anything to her.
But-
Especially she's that popular. They brought her into Grand Order as another character.
They bring her into everything, though. They brought her into Grand Order. They brought her into a Lost Uncle. I don't think they bring her into Apocrypha, actually.
Well, that being said, that being said, when they wrote this, and obviously they're adapting the visual novel,
Yeah.
Rin was not the icon of the franchise that she was at that point when they created the game. So they didn't have that in mind. And of course, the thing that kind of separates all the different paths is who Shiro
Bangs.
Pretty much.
I was going to say romantically ends up with, but yeah, fine. Who he bangs in each one. He bangs Saber in the Saber arc.
Yeah.
He bangs Rin in Unlimited Blade Works, and he bangs Sakura in Heaven's
The
Feel.
difference is we see that happen in this one.
Yeah, obviously that was in the second film. But that's the thing. Most of the character development we talk about it in the second film. There's not too, apart from the fact it's finally the clash between Rin and Sakura.
Yeah.
There's not much character development this time around. Like most of Shiro and Sakura's
Most of the
romantic chemistry was done in the first and second movie.
Most of the development we get really is from the creation of the Greater Grail,
Yeah.
which we now know was sort of a pact between the Tosakas, the Eisenbergs, and whatever Makiri, I think it was.
The Matau.
Matau.
Matto.
No, I thought there was like a family before the Matau.
There's a couple of it's oh god, fake
Yeah,
continuity.
because I know it was before they were the
families.
Matau.
Yeah.
It's the main families all
Yeah.
sort of compiled together because it was a genius idea on their part.
Yeah.
How the fuck did they not think this was going to happen?
Yeah.
It's a bit like.
I mean, as Zokin said at the end, at first we had good intentions, but that only lasted like a second.
Yeah.
I do like the fact they had the final boss be the same as Dean Steinheit again.
Yeah.
It's considering that we lost Gilgamesh so soon in this version.
Yeah.
But
Which seems strange considering how much of a looming figure he is in every.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. Heaven's Feel is meant to. The whole point is that by done Heaven's Feel, you've done the Saber arc.
Yeah.
You've done Unlimited Blade Works where Gilgamesh has been that figure. Now we come to Heaven's Feel, and he's taken out early.
Yeah.
And it's like, what
and
the
very
fuck?
quickly.
And very quickly.
Actually, not just that. Most of the heroic spirits are taken out like super early on. I'm pretty sure at the end of the first film, or that's
half of them were gone at least.
at the first one, the only ones left were Berserk. Actually, no, Archer was there.
Archer
so
was there,
Berserker, Archer, Rider,
Saber.
and Assassin. No, Saber technically died.
Technically, and then
she
got
technically lost.
Yeah.
and then came back as this. But the whole point of that is it's supposed to say, right, we're in new territory now.
Yeah.
It's supposed to. You got to remember, Heaven's Feel is designed for the last thing you do with this story arc.
Which is actually something that kind of makes it a bit sad that it was Shiro who killed Saber in this one.
Especially considering you know what Saber's backstory is at that point.
Yeah.
So it means if you watch Heaven's Feel first, you're not going to get that sense of, oh shit, Saber is not going to get. Maybe didn't get the happy ending. It was a bit unclear. Saber got
No, I think.
I think that only happens in the Saber arc. You're right.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. No, I think it kind of happened in Unlimited Blade Works.
But it definitely doesn't happen in Heaven's Field.
definitely doesn't happen in this one.
So
I find it so hard watching a lot of the character arcs that you know to be amazing in other parts, like just get cut off.
Yeah.
It's so brutal.
but that was designed that way
yeah,
to be
exactly.
that. Also, fun point. This is the only time Ilya makes it to the end, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Well, she doesn't die in Doomsday Night, which I think is true to the Saber arc. I don't believe she dies in the Saber arc, but she does die in.
But she doesn't get that conclusion that she did in this one.
No, she doesn't in the Saber arc. But this one, she does get that conclusion, and she sort of fulfills that she finishes what her mother started in Fate Zero. I do like her character arc. She got a way less brutal death than she got in Unlimited Blade Works, which is kind of like, holy shit.
Yeah.
She's like 10 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's kind of it's also why I mean when she refers to herself as Shiro's big sister at the end, I was kind of like, well, maybe technically,
I guess
You break up the
technically she was born before Kisaragi took in Shiro.
but she's not. But Shiro's still about a few years older than her.
Yeah.
But she's also kind of this. She's also kind of in this. Oh god,
Disregard
no.
what she says. She's 10.
Yeah. I all I remember is that I did tear up a little bit when she went.
Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Fate Zero takes place
10 years before this one, I believe.
10 years before the events of the Holy Grail.
Yeah, because if I remember, the Holy Grail War is normally something that happens like every 60 years, but
It's-
this one happened earlier for some reason.
Yeah, someone. It's always, and of course, I think we find out in one of these arcs, someone triggers the Holy Grail War to start sooner because they didn't finish off what they were planning. I'm not going to give away too much in these spoilers, even though it's a spoiler section, I'm not going to give away too much. But someone basically is engineering the situation so that the Holy Grail War starts, so they can finish off what they didn't succeed in Fate Zero. Speaking of which, how do you guys feel about the villains this time around? Because Sakura's kind of put into the villain role briefly.
I think
she's a tragic villain.
I think she's definitely a good example of how to do a tragic villain.
Yeah.
I also like the fact that the fight they've been setting up between her and Rin finally happens, and it was worth the wait.
It was so good, holy hell.
Although it's a bit with it, so just bring out that sword out of nowhere, say it channels multiversal energy.
Yeah.
So I can now beat you effortlessly.
Yeah. Something I actually really liked though was how Shiro defeats Sakura, which is by using the dagger that Caster used in the first film. I just think when I saw that I was just like, oh, holy shit!
That's payoff.
That is great, yeah.
Hello, Ripley.
Especially considering I don't think we see that in any of the other arcs.
I don't think so. Not to such a poetic level, no.
I think Ripley's now on camera.
Yeah. I think it's the first time she's been on camera in a while, actually.
Probably.
Talk amongst yourselves. We're going to play with a dog for a little bit. She's very happy because she's just finished being a mum.
She finished being a mum like over a month ago.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding. She's given birth to monsters. I'm not kidding. 2 of her puppies are nearly already the size that she is.
Oh really?
Seriously. Rufus, Dexter, what the fuck? How are you growing so big?
Rufus Hound. Stop growing.
Nice.
What?
I didn't even think of that.
I do love the fact you named him after famous detectives.
Oh,
Yeah.
I never
It was Rufus's name was originally Sherlock.
Oh, nice.
But that's partly because we were thinking of keeping a Merle, and if we had a boy, I wanted it to be named Sherlock.
Yeah, fair play.
So where does Fate go from here? Do you think, guys?
Have there been any series post Holy Grail War?
Yes.
There haven't.
There's one.
But not animated.
I think there's been one sequel light novel.
There was a sequel visual novel. It's called Fate Stay Night Hollow Arexia or something like that.
Erex.
It's Hollow Araxia or something like that. It's oh god.
So would that be a good way? Because I wouldn't mind seeing, because they've just done this.
But the thing is,
I know they needed to, but I wouldn't mind a progression.
I think there's some weird correlation about how the Fate Stay Night sequel actually relates to all the different arcs.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of
Yeah, because it would be really difficult to tie up all those arcs
Yes.
into one conclusion.
I also never got
story.
why they had a sequel to Fate Stay Night, because for me each of the endings is pretty good.
Yeah. There's also another spin-off where Space Day Night, but it's Groundhog Day, and they keep going back in time.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That was based off that fan theory that was what was happening all the time. There was a constant time loop that everyone was in, and very similar to Shah Won't Spoil. I've just realised I was about to spoil something quite important that I should not have spoiled.
Or the show we've seen.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
Yeah, that one.
I was
that
nearly.
was
I mean-
so loud.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm right into the mic.
I knew that
I mean,
anyway.
okay, I'll just say it was Higurashi. It's not really much of a secret. It's kind of implied at the end of the first show. It's only 26 episodes, guys, and one of the best horror anime you'll ever watch. Watch it.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, it's I kind of never bought that. I always thought it was the whole point of Fate Stay Night was it could go any sort of way, and these were all the different ways it could go.
Well, I mean, that's true of. I mean, if we look at Dark Souls as an example, like there's a number of endings that you can pick from in the first game. Like you either light the first flame or you don't.
Well, that's more. Well, the first game there's only 2 endings. I would think more Dark Souls 3,
Yes.
where you could either link the first flame, you can have the Firekeeper extinguish it for you, or you could essentially become a hollow and become the Lord of the Hollows and absorb the first flame for yourself.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about the ending of Heaven's Feel? How do you feel it ended?
I think it ended well.
Yeah, I think it ended open-ended also.
Yeah, it also did it a bit weirdly with what happens
Yes.
Yeah.
with certain events.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like the fact that they did this whole Shiro sacrificed himself, but he still gets to have that happy ending.
Yeah.
But is it really Shiro?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's the question.
I like to think it is. I want Sakura to get a happy ending.
I think that
She deserves it.
I think they all deserved it. That's one of the reasons I think the writers were planning a tragic ending, and then they chickened out at the last minute.
I would not have been happy. I wouldn't have been happy if it got a tragic ending. Sakura deserves a break.
I think it's. I mean, that's a whole other dispute. Probably not. I recognise that everything that happened is horrific and no one should have to go through that. But she shouldn't have killed all those people.
Yeah, to be
It's
fair.
not controversial to say that.
Technically, I'm not sure. I don't think it was real. It was her. I think it was like the Avenger spirit that they tried to bring back.
AKA stuff they threw in at the last minute in Fate Zero.
Yeah. I would have liked a tragic ending, but I don't think this is a bad one.
No, I don't think it needed a tragic ending because all the other Fate Stay Nights end on a happy ending.
Yes.
So I think it should.
I think it's at 0. I think it's at 0, but that's supposed to be because the city blew up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with Fate Zero is, and I'm not the first reviewer to say this, and I won't be the last, but it is basically the modern version of the Greek tragedy. It's a sense of you know how it's going to end, you want to stop it,
but you can't.
You can't, no matter what you do. This is how it will end. It's very much like Halo Reach in that sense.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, in that one, the person who faced the most tragedy in that one was Saber, just because she was, like, if I remember, it was Kirisugu who commanded her with the command spell to destroy the Holy Grail, which she really desperately wanted.
And well, obviously we found out in Sayrock that she needed it.
Yeah.
But I feel like this. I think I could take a break from Fate now for quite a while.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Especially because I just checked the Fate wiki. There's over like 50 entries in the franchise related to Fate.
And I think as far as talking about like which of the endings is a true ending if you were to do a sequel, because the timeline is so fucked anyway, and you basically can't. There's no direct path to watch if you want to understand the Fate universe. They just give a break for a bit.
I think the one thing
Maybe
is
have a slice of life show set.
Technically they had a cooking show in the Fate series.
There is a thing actually.
It was actually good.
Yeah, I heard it was really good.
The one thing that people are going to mention to us is, well, there was a lot cut out from Heaven's Field. If you read the manga, you know there are a couple of things they did cut from Heaven's Field. Some of it I think was right, like the cut Shiro's nightmare sequence where he has classroom sex with Rin.
I mean, that kind of did happen in the first one, except Rin swapped to Sakura right at the very end.
Yeah, and they toned it down from what it was in the manga. They cut a couple of sequences that weren't very necessary. There's a couple, but
the main thing I'm happy about Heaven's Feel though, Shinji finally fucking dies.
Yeah.
The scumbag got what he deserved.
didn't he die in the Saber arc as well?
I can't remember. I don't think I haven't actually seen a Saber arc. I'll be honest.
I have, but it was so long ago. I can't remember.
I love that they managed to create a universally hated character. Like just
And somehow
one
he's
likes
still
Shinji.
one of the main faces of Fate.
I think because he's that iconic, because he's just that much of a scumbag.
Well, to be fair, it's like we didn't realize how much of a scumbag he was till Heaven's Feel.
Yeah.
It's like we kind of knew it going in, and then we're like, holy shit, he is a monster.
No, in Heaven's Feel, you more just think, good God. So he wasn't actually the master of Rider. He was just using. Sakura just let him use her.
Yeah.
So pathetic.
Yeah. I'm glad Zoken finally got fucking killed.
Oh, thank God.
About 3 times.
It's about like, how many times can we kill this guy?
Yeah.
I'm dead. No, I'm not. I'm dead. No, I'm not.
I want to live. I'm dead.
I'm not.
Oh no, lava, my one weakness.
I am at peace.
I was just envisioning the
No,
goblin.
I'm just half expecting like there to be a sequel, and you just see a bird that's still alive. I have bugs. I am the Fate version of Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas.
In fact, I fast forwarded through the credits just in case there was a post-credit scene when that happened.
Was there a post-credit?
No, there wasn't.
No, there wasn't.
Which I think is good. I think they ended on the right stop.
Yeah, but it was so funny though. He gets killed by the power of Christ, then being crushed in the hands and then thrown in lava. It's just to get rid of him.
Rah,
Tin,
Rasputin.
I think though I'm only interested. I like Ryder's arc in this one.
Holy hell! The fight between Ryder and Saber, highlight of the film.
Oh, easily.
I did not realize how powerful Ryder was.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, a noble phantasm was
She
great.
just got gimped by everyone in every other.
Yeah, what do you expect? She was fighting with Shinji.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of,
Which also is the argument for that. Her power could be fully drawn out because he was so shit.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of a good what I really like about Heaven's Feel. It kind of shows that the main thing holding Ryder back was her master.
Yeah. Master
Master
of Ryder and Puppy.
But yeah, the whole scene, that the soundtrack in that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And also the animation. It might be in the animation between her and Saber. It's better than the recent Dragon Ball movies. That whole fight scene.
I mean, at the same time, Ufotable is, in my opinion, the best animation when it comes to animation.
Yeah, but just saying though, there's a correlation between that and Battle of Gods, whereas Goku versus Beerus in the cave. It's almost the same situation between Ryder and Saber. But Faye does it so much better and with way less CGI.
Okay, so we're gonna get a bit of a roundup. We know you like Heaven's Feel the most.
I fucking love it, yeah.
We know
I'm Zero. I like Fate Zero.
Fate Zero.
I'm still personally Apocrypha.
Apocrypha.
Oh.
I'm having a hard time deciding between Zero, Unlimited Blade. I think Heaven's Feel is the best for individual character arcs.
Yeah.
I think the way it nails Sakura's character arc is perfect.
Oh man.
Not like that. Oh god. I think if I was put to a push, I think I'd say Fate Zero. Because it's the one that is the most complete out of all these. But every one of them has their merits.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, 100%.
What do you think is... here's the thing though for it. If Fate Stay Night finally got an official translation and was put on the Switch, would you guys pick it up now, having watched all the films?
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would honestly, just because I'm not a big fan of visual novels. It's the reason why I still haven't gotten the Steins Gate one.
I mean, the only difference is you get the full maturity rating this time.
Yeah, the question is, how much would Nintendo censor? Because in the original visual novel, you see everything.
Oh, right.
Yeah. It's that scene of Patrick Stewart in Extras. It's all right. Too late. I've seen everything.
Yeah, I've seen everything.
I just love that bit.
That's
The main, is it weird that the main, when I think of Patrick Stewart or Star Trek, the main thing I think about is his alphabet song. It's fun to wander through the alphabet with you.
What?
Have you not heard that?
Look it up later.
And Star Trek.
Yeah, apparently.
The only song I remember from Next Generation is Data going, "You tiny little light bulbs."
I watched more of Voyager than I did Next Generation.
I have not.
Fool!
You poor soul.
I haven't watched much of Next Generation, honestly.
Watch Next Generation. Skip Picard. Picard is crap on Paramount Plus.
Oh,
it is pure character assassination.
Yeah.
I love the person Ren. Voyager is rubbish.
What? I like it.
It is so rough.
What about the Doctor character? He's fun and too far.
We're going on.
Look, two Vicks is all I'm saying.
Look, I'd love to do it.
Yeah.
Look, this is a
Yeah.
This is a conversation for off screen.
This
is a conversation for off screen.
Listen, I fancy 7 of 9. Okay, let me have this.
Well, don't watch Picard because they screw her over.
She's in it.
Yes.
Didn't you name one of your characters a joke on that in D&D?
Oh, probably like 6 of 10 or something because I was playing a Warforged. I can't remember.
This conversation was brought to you by the letter W. W. We're fucking shit at our jobs.
Yeah. It's part of a new show called Who Cares?
Yeah.
Hey, how do you know the name of my next podcast?
Yeah. That joke is copyright Paul Merton. Have I got news for you? Season 61.
Nice.
I thought I'd come clean.
61.
Yeah, they've done they're on season 63 at the minute.
Nice.
Wow.
Holy hell!
Yeah, Richard Arwadi was the host last week.
Oh, cool.
I thought Mock the Week was going for a long time.
So we'll be back next month with our seasonal roundup.
Woo.
Having at that point we probably will have recovered from that rhubarb and pear juice that we had on our 5th anniversary restaurant
Still tasting
trip.
it.
So salty.
Unbelievable.
So we'll see you all next time. Thank you guys very much. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.
So long.